to make 3D shapes, here are the supplies I have: paper, ruler, a pencil, and I'm going to just use a Sharpie to show it to you, and some highlighters, and then of course you'll want an eraser. So the first thing that you need to do is you always need to start with your shapes, and shapes are two-dimensional objects. So we have our height and our length here for our shapes, and a couple of other ones I'm going to do is our triangle, circle, and it doesn't have to be a perfect circle, and then here just a rectangle, a little bit different from the square that I did. And then we are going to put in a dot in the center. This dot is called a vanishing point. So all lines are going to vanish to this area. So it will look like the shapes are going in towards the center. And then the next thing that we're going to do is, once you have your vanishing point, and this is a 1 point because it's only one little dot, I'm going to grab my ruler now and go ahead and start using it to create the lines that are going to go to the vanishing point to make the shapes look 3D. And when a shape turns into a three-dimensional thing, we're giving it its width. So it's all the sides that we're gonna see. So what I like to do, and this is just helps everyone, you don't have to do it, but it just kind of helps if you're not for sure where to put your ruler when you're doing the vanishing point. And on the circle, I'm just gonna go to the outer side edges. So it'd be around this part because I'm gonna be drawing the lines to here. So let's get started. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to keep this as my pivot point, and if I can draw a line going from that dot to the center vanishing point, I'm going to go ahead and draw a line. So think of it as we're traveling up as we're drawing the line for this square, and there's a corner where it changes directions. That's where I need to stop and see if I can draw a line to my vanishing point. If it starts going through the shape, I'm not going to draw it. So this one is a no if it's going through. So now I'm going to travel over to this direction, and this is where it's a changing of direction, so that's where I know I need to draw a line to the vanishing point. And then travel downwards. And now I have a three-dimensional square, so it's called a cube. Now onto here. So checking to see, I always check the closest points first. It's just the easiest. So vanishing point to this dot, I can draw a line. Then I'm going to move it upwards to here, and it looks like I can draw a line. Now I'm traveling down as I would have drawn the square line, and check to see if I can draw a line, and here I can. Now I have a three-dimensional triangle, which could be called a pyramid if you wanted to call it that. Now we're going to check these points. So closest one first would be right here. Now traveling over to the right, and then it stops with its direction. So can I draw a line? And it looks like a yes. Now traveling downwards, can I draw a line through here? That's a going to go through, so that's a no. Then I'm going to go over to here. Can I draw a line? And it looks like that is a yes. So now we have that one. Okay. For this, we don't have any 90 degree or 45 degree or 30, depending on which kind of corner you have. Circles don't have that. It's just made up of a whole bunch of points going around. So what you do is line it up to your vanishing point again, and use this as your pivot point with your ruler. So the furthest spot where you go out and can't see it anymore is where you know you need to draw your line for your circle. And then the same thing, keep going. So don't just stop here and draw a line. I can move the ruler all the way out to the outer edge over here. But it looks like it would go about right there. So now we have these three-dimensional ones. They're going to, remember the dot is called the vanishing point. Now what we need to do is draw parallel lines for this. So to do parallel lines, that is where you're going to have the same degree of angle. So if it's angled this way, it's going to be another one just like it. So it's like the equal sign. So it's always going in the same direction, whichever way it would be. And my hand can't bend that much, but it would be the same degree. So don't just kind of guess where things go and do things like this, and then you're like, things like that. That is not correct because you need them to be parallel. So don't just guess also. The easiest thing to do is take your ruler, and if you don't have a ruler, what you could do is side of another pencil. You just need something that's a straight edge. It could be a piece of paper that you could use for your straight edge. So just to show you what I could do, so I'm going to line it up with the original line of the triangle and scoot it out, and I'm going to do at least a pinky width. That's about 1 centimeter. So I could use the edge here of the pencil, and that would be my straight edge. So now line it up again, and I'm going to not just go anywhere. I'm going to go and find where this line stopped right here. So I need to line it up again and slide it down because we want our parallel edges. And now we have a 3-dimensional triangle this way. So just to show you how to use the pencil again as your straight edge, lining it up to this vertical one, I'm going to go about a pinky dimension. So I'm going to make a mark so I know where my stopping point is. So keep sliding it, and it looks like right here. Now I'm going to take crossed, slide it down to where it stops, and now I have my cube for that one. Same thing, let's do the corner here that's going to the vanishing point. I want it to be about a pinky width, so I'm going to keep sliding it. Now I'm going to want to go to here, make my little vertical line here, that's parallel, and now I have this. This one is harder to do because I can't do a straight line here because it's curved. So what I like doing is making a little guideline. So I'm going to go here for my pinky mark, here again, and I'm going to follow how this curves. So then when you're done with that, you're going to outline and then you take your eraser, and I'm also going to erase what would be the vanishing point here, but I put it in Sharpie so I can't erase it. But in a nice drawing, you would want to not put your vanishing point in Sharpie because you would be coloring the background and everything. So now I have 3-dimensional things, and what I'm going to require that you do is color in the sides. You could do it with your pencil, but this helps you see how it's 3-dimensional and see it's getting smaller when it goes to the vanishing point also. And there we have some 3D shapes. You can even add color to the fronts of them. And I like doing them different colors just so it's more appealing to the viewer to see the sides of them. And when doing a curved object or a circle, color in the direction of the circle, and it is more appealing that way too than going straight across. And there we have it. What I'm also going to demonstrate is using the same vanishing point. I'm going to put some shapes around the outside edges of this so you can see how they could be the same shapes but have different angles going with them. And there you have it. This is how we started with a simple triangle like this one, drew it to the vanishing point, put parallel sides on it, and then it turned into a little tiny triangle right there. But this would be a form now. So before, a shape is a 2D object, so it has its length and its height, and now by making it 3D, we have given it its width. And this is a vanishing point. So if you ever needed a 3D shape to make your posters look fancier or just decorations, you could even do like this black, since I did highlighters, and it would kind of look like a galaxy if you put some real stars and stuff in it. So have fun making your 3D forms now. Thank you.